Have you ever looked at a picture of the Great Pyramid of Giza and just wondered? How? How did they build something so massive, so precise, so long ago? It's a question that has baffled historians, engineers, and dreamers for centuries. Today, we're diving deep into one of history's greatest architectural mysteries, the construction of the Great Pyramid. Built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BC, this colossal structure is made of over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons. Imagine that, 80 tons. It's like lifting a dozen elephants. And they didn't just stack them, place them with a precision that would be impressive, even with today's technology. For over 3,800 years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. Nothing surpassed it until the Lincoln Cathedral was built in England in the 14th century. So, the burning question remains: how did the ancient Egyptians pull off this incredible feat? Let's start with the classic theories, the ones you might have learned in school. The most popular idea involves ramps. But what kind of ramp? A single long straight ramp would have needed to be over a mile long to reach the top, requiring almost as much material as the pyramid itself. So, that seems unlikely. Another theory suggests a spiral ramp that corkscrewed around the outside of the pyramid as it was built. This makes a bit more sense, as it would grow with the structure. Then there's the internal ramp theory, which proposes that a ramp was built inside the pyramid's core, spiraling upwards. This would explain why we don't see any evidence of a massive external ramp today. It's a clever idea, but direct proof is still elusive. Alongside ramps, we have the theories involving levers and counterweights. Simple machines, but incredibly effective. By using wooden levers, workers could have lifted and nudged these enormous blocks into place. Imagine teams of people working in perfect sync, using leverage to conquer gravity, one stone at a time. It's a testament to their understanding of basic physics. And then there's the manpower. The Greek historian Herodotus, who visited Egypt long after the pyramids were built, wrote that it took 100,000 men working for 20 years. For a long time, people thought these were slaves, toiling under the whip. But modern archaeology tells a different story. Discoveries of a workers' village near the pyramids reveal that these were skilled, paid laborers. They were well-fed, received medical care, and were highly organized. They lived in a dedicated town with bakeries and breweries. This wasn't slave labor. This was a national project, a source of pride, employing the best artisans and builders in the kingdom. The scale of this workforce is staggering. It was like a temporary city, all focused on one single monumental goal. They weren't just building a tomb. They were building a stairway to the heavens for their king. Now, let's get into some of the more advanced ideas that modern science has brought to the table. Recent studies have pointed to some truly ingenious techniques. For example, how did they move those massive stone blocks from quarries hundreds of miles away? One fascinating study suggests they wet the sand in front of the sledges that carried the stones. It sounds simple, but physicists have shown that the right amount of water can reduce the friction of sand by half, making it much easier to pull heavy loads. It's a brilliant low-tech solution to a high-tonnage problem. Another piece of the puzzle lies in their tools. They use copper chisels and dolerite pounders. But copper is a relatively soft metal. How could it cut through hard granite? Some theories propose they used an abrasive like quartz sand, along with the copper saws to slowly grind through the stone. It would have been a slow, painstaking process requiring immense patience and perseverance. This highlights the dedication of the workers. They weren't just moving rocks. They were shaping mountains with meticulous care. What about the incredible precision? The base of the Great Pyramid is almost a perfect square, with the sides aligned almost exactly to the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. The margin of error is tiny, a feat that would be challenging even today. How did they achieve this without modern surveying equipment? It's believed they used a combination of solar and stellar observations. By tracking the movement of the sun and stars, they could create perfectly straight lines and right angles. They might have used simple tools like a gnomon, a vertical stick that casts a shadow to determine true north. This shows a deep understanding of astronomy and mathematics that was far, far ahead of its time. Then there's the question of getting the blocks up the pyramid. The ramp theories are still the most popular, but modern engineers have proposed some hybrid models. French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin has famously championed the internal ramp theory. He believes an external ramp was used for the bottom third of the pyramid, and then an internal spiral ramp was used to complete the rest. This would explain the grand gallery inside the pyramid. She suggests might have been part of a counterweight system to help haul the heaviest blocks for the king's chamber. His computer models are compelling, and they offer a logical, step-by-step process for the construction. While we haven't found definitive proof of this internal ramp yet, non-invasive scans of the pyramid have revealed mysterious voids and corridors that could support this theory. We are literally peering through the stones with modern technology, and the pyramid is slowly giving up its secrets. But despite all these theories, all this research, the honest truth is, we still don't have a single, definitive answer. There is no ancient papyrus that says, here's how to build a pyramid, step by step. We are piecing together a puzzle, with most of the pieces missing. Every theory, from the simple to the complex, has its strengths and weaknesses. It was likely a combination of many different techniques: ramps for one part, levers for another, water for transport, and an incredible amount of human ingenuity and organization holding it all together. That's what makes the Great Pyramid so enduringly fascinating. It's not just a pile of stones. It's a monument to human potential. It represents the ability of people to work together, to innovate, and to achieve something that seems impossible. The ancient Egyptians didn't have aliens or lost super technology. They had intelligence, determination, and a unified vision. They looked at the desert and saw a canvas for eternity. They looked at the stars and found their blueprint. And they created something that has inspired awe and wonder for over 4,500 years. The mystery itself is part of its magic. It forces us to appreciate the genius of a civilization that thrived in the Bronze Age. They left us with a silent stone giant that continues to challenge our understanding of the past. As we continue to study it with new technology, who knows what secrets we might uncover next. The Great Pyramid of Giza isn't just a relic of the past. It's a conversation across millennia, a symbol of what we can accomplish when we reach for the impossible. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of ancient Egypt. What do you think? How was the Great Pyramid built? Let me know your favorite theory in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more explorations into the greatest mysteries of history. See you next time.